and I'm going to tackle the first half of this report, and the other half will be tackled by my partner Christy and Ates. And our topic was entitled about the basic concept of woman in the society and the right to education. But before that, let me tackle first about the basic rule of woman in the society. We all know that the traditions and culture for women before are so different from now. Before, they are tend to stay at the four-sided wall doing all household chores as of every day to serve their family. But on the other hand, there are some women who are powerful and heroic, but because of pregnancy, economy, and other reasons, they are forced to look for men for their protection. And specifically, the economic dependency was the basis of for women's slavery. Throughout the years, the woman was perceived as emotional, deceitful, illogical, and even weak-minded. And woman tries to blame men for that. But because of change of customer traditions, they have no choice. If the women are in the hands of the male or in the male's property, then the man can do whatever he wants for the woman. If you have to think of it, the positions of men and women, we can think that, or we can say that the women are more responsible than men. The women are lots of problems than men. Why? Because women can do all household chores, any kind of household chores in a day, while on the other hand, the men can do only one job in a day to earn money. Women have lots of problems than men because they are the one who budgets the money, or they are the one to manage their home, everything at home. So there, it is not reasonable enough to abuse women. Fortunately, in the past few decades, the women have made lots of improvements, like getting position of the government to simple things like getting jobs to support themselves. Okay, to continue the topic, there are some rules of women in the society. First, the modern women are inclined towards the social issue and trying hard to improve the social status of women at large. Second, increased awareness and education have inspired women to come out of the four walls of the home. Third, many women actively supported and participated in the national movement and secured prominent positions and active in administration and public life. Next is, traditionally women exist because of the family and for the family. Then, just like their men counterpart, women are also fond of attending social functions and value her social life quite a lot. Then, previously men folk used to discourage women from leaving their household for attend social functions. Now, the speed of education, especially that of women, and the changing social attitudes of the educated women have charged the areas. Then lastly, the modern woman has started caring for health, figure, cultural needs and interests, and academic pursuits, social intercourse, religious activities, and recreational needs. So those are the rules of woman in the society. On the other hand, there are also some rules of woman as a wife. There are four rules of woman as a wife. First, when a wife enjoyed a state ideally almost equal to treat of her husband and perform with social as well as biological functions. Second, even today, girls are still brought up on models portraying selflessness, self-denial, and sacrifice. Third, the desire for mutual affection and love is beginning to appear in their conception of their relationship with their husband. And lastly, the husband-wife relationship has become more equalitarian in character and much more companionable. Before, there is no freedom of choice in marriage, so that thing was called arranged marriage. The women are forced to marry a man whom she doesn't love, and the decision was in the hands of their family. So she have to stay and live with a man whom she doesn't love, and she have no choice for that. So now women have the freedom to choose any man she would like to marry, and definitely have the right and decision when she would like to marry a man. So that was the rule of woman as a wife. Then now we're going to tackle about the rule of woman in politics. So first, of course, there are three rule of women in politics. First, dedication of women. has not only helped them to become aware of the political problems, but they are gradually becoming active participants in the political life. Second, some are enrolling themselves as members of political parties, attending party meetings, conventions, and carrying out political programs. Then lastly, some women are attaining the influential political statute of their own and have become instrumental in helping the public opinion for the betterment of women's condition in society. So I know that you already know that we have already the first woman president in the Philippines on the year 1986 to 1992. She is the President Cory Aquino. She was the first president woman in the Philippines. So be grateful for that. So we are already done talking about the role of woman in the society, role of woman as a wife, and role of woman in the politics. So we are going now to discuss about the right to education of a woman. Education is very important. Everyone needs to be educated. Why? To avoid discrimination. Of course, we all know before that women tend to stay at the four-sided walls, just doing household chores and not going to school. They don't go to school because they have no right to go to school. They have no freedom to go to school. So lucky for us now that we have the right to education, we have the freedom to choose which school we prefer to study and what course we would like to study. So thank for that. We're going to thank for that. Right to education has been recognized as human rights, which means all people are entitled to the three basic education regardless of the gender, status, or other factors. Once a person is educated, he can actively participate in their community. So those who are educated can have a better understanding and can easily accept the differences of every individual. Meaning of women education. So women education refers to every form of education that aims at improving the knowledge and skill of women. It includes general education at school and colleges, vocational and technical education, professional education, health education, and more. Women education encompasses both literary and non-literary education. Educated women are capable of bringing socio-economic changes that of almost all democratic countries, it guarantees equal right to both men and women. Primary education is now a fundamental right. Woman is ensured of her rights. So also, education is the most powerful way to lift up people from poverty.
The following links will further explain the necessity of course for women education. Education is a right, cultural changes, better health awareness, and poverty education. Realizing the importance of women education, the government and non-government organizations took a lot of projects to spread women education. Literacy programs are being taken in favor of women. The importance of women education are briefly summarized below. First importance of women education is economic development and prosperity. Education will empower women to come forward and contribute towards the development and prosperity of the country. The second importance of women education is economic empowerment. As long as women remain backward and economically dependent on men, the helpless condition of them cannot be changed. Economic improvement and independence will only come through proper education, and independence will only come through proper education and employment of women. The third importance of women education improves life. Education helps women to live a good life. Her identity as an individual would never get lost. She can read and learn about her rights. Her rights would not be trodden down. The life or condition of women would improve a lot. If we take a broad outlook in the field of female education, it also improved health. Educates girls and women are aware of the importance of health and hygiene. Through health education, they are empowered to lead a healthy lifestyle. Educated mothers can take better care of both herself and her baby. The fifth, dignity and honor. Educated women are now looked upon with dignity and power. They become a source of inspiration for millions of young girls who make them their role models. Justice. Educated women are more informed in their rights for justice. It would eventually lead to decline in instances of violence and injustice against women. Choice to choose a profession of her choice. Educated women can prove to be highly successful in the field of life. A girl child should get equal opportunity for education so that she can plan to become a successful individual someday. Elevate poverty. Women education is a prerequisite to elevate poverty. Women need to take equal burden to the massive task of eliminating poverty. This would demand massive contribution from educated women. These cannot be mute social and economic changes unless women are given the rights for education. Everybody has the right to education. The right to free and compulsory primary education without discrimination and of good quality has been reaffirmed in all major international human rights conventions. So, those are the importance of women education. Female education is one of the basic factors of growth and development of a country. It develops the quality of their lives and benefits to individuals. It also plays an important role in economic and social development and improving themselves. Cultural changes. Cultural and traditional values stand before girls and their prospects for education. The achieve of girls to education can address some of society's deeply rooted inequalities, which condemn millions of girls to a life without quality education and therefore also all too often to a life of missed opportunities. Improving educational opportunities for girls and women help them to develop skills that allow them to make decisions and influence community change in key areas. One reason for denying girls and women the right to an education is rarely calculated by those in change. Better health. Basic education provides girls and women with an understanding of basic health, nutrition, and family planning, giving those choices and the power to decide over their own lives and bodies. Poverty education. Educating girls and women is an important step in overcoming poverty. Inequality and poverty are not inevitable. The focus on poverty education enables the right to education to be a powerful tool in making a change in the lives of girls and women. Poverty has been universally affirmed as a key obstacle to an enjoyment of human rights and it has a visible gender profile. The main reason for this is the fact that poverty results from violations of human rights, including the right to education, which disproportionately affect girls and women. Girls' education, a lifetime to development. Education is one of the most critical areas of empowerment for women. Among children not attending school, there are twice as many girls as boys. And among illiterate adults there are twice many women as men. Important things to improve girls' access. Parental and community involvement. Families and community must be important partners with schools in development curriculum and managing children's education. low cost and flexible timetables. Basic education should be free or cost very little. Where possible, there should be stipends and scholarships to compensate. Schools close to home with women teachers. Many parents worry about girls traveling long distances in their own. Many parents also prefer to have daughters taught by women. Preparation for school. Girls do best when they receive early childhood care, which enhances their self-esteem and relates them for school. Relevant curricula. Learning material should be relevant to the girl's background and be in local language. They should also avoid reproducing gender stereotypes. Girls' education promotes sustainable development. When girls gain access to education, they acquire important knowledge that gives them greater potential for their employment and income earnings as adults. Even with limited schooling, the impact of education can be observed. Human rights at issues. Human rights relating to education are set out in basic human rights treaties and include human rights to face and compulsory education, human rights to freedom from discrimination based on sex, human rights to inform about health, nutrition, reproduction, and family planning, human rights to work and receive wages that contribute to an adequate standard of living, human rights to freedom of thoughts, conscience, religion, and belief, human rights to participate in shaping decisions and policies of testing one's community at local, national, and international level. So that's all for the human rights. And here are the case. Education is very important. Without education, we cannot stand the level of progress. Educated persons improve themselves and better understanding of society, and that leads to a better future and a successful future.